contestant lands on the audience, then you guys out there on Facebook and YouTube can put in your story suggestions, and our expert judges will choose one of them. There's also one space that says free, and if the contestant lands on free, they can choose any topic on the wheel. And speaking of expert judges, let's get to them right away, you guys. This first judge coming to the show, he's a comedian and a writer, and he wrote on At Midnight for the entire run. He's also a broadcaster for the LA Dirty Dolls. Please put your hands together for the amazing Blaine Capatch.
Oh, hi, Christine. Sorry, I was making sure that my Uber got home safe.
All right, I'm happy to see you. All right, it's good to have you here. All right, you guys, you've seen this next talent on television shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm, Mad Men, and Everybody Loves Raymond. She appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson 9 times. Unbelievable. She's also written several solo shows as well, and she continues to write and perform. She's amazing. Please put your hands together for the amazing Cathy Ladman. Cathy! All right, you guys, this final judge coming up right now is a stand-up comedian who you've seen as an actor on The Sopranos. Yeah, The Sopranos. He also has a fabulous podcast that I never miss. It's called the Mental Illness Comedy Hour. Please put your hands together for the guy that shares my birthday next week, my brother from another mother, Ed Crasnick! All right, you guys, I am so happy you're out here tonight. We're going to be playing 2 rounds of the game tonight. And in the case of a tie, we'll move on to the 3rd round, and that'll be a spin-off round, which I'm so excited. And what we're going to be doing tonight, you guys, is we're going to be judging on 3 categories, and you'll be scoring 5 points for each. You're scoring on the story, the ability to stay on the topic, and the time, which makes a perfect score of 15 from each judge. Now, how are we doing? Everybody okay?
Yes.
Feeling it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I have the names of the contestants here.
I could use a hug.
Say it again.
I could use a hug.
Blaine, as long as we're with you, can you please tell us who's the show is sponsored by tonight?
Oh, of course. This is brought to you by Fruit Loops PM. Start your day off with a good night's sleep with Fruit Loops PM. And Crust Wet Strips. Say goodbye to dry teeth with Crest Wet Strips. Christine?
All right, you guys, let's get this show started right away. We're playing 2 rounds tonight. The first round is going to be a true 1-minute story, and the second round is a true 2-minute story. And you guys watch the clock, because if you go over your time, you're going to hear this.
Oh, that's not pretty.
Over, and we go right to the judges. Okay? Everybody feel good, Cathy?
Yes, I'm doing well. I was preoccupied. My husband walked by.
Okay.
Not that I'm in an apartment or anything. Okay.
All right, you guys.
I was preoccupied when your husband walked by.
All right, I'm reaching into the can of truth, and we're going to start this game, you guys. The first contestant coming to the stage. Oh, all right, you guys. This contestant, he is a stand-up comedian who hails from my hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He also has performed at the Comedy Store in the Original Room, and he is a sous chef. Put your hands together for Mario Tonti.
Hello.
Hey, Mario. How you feeling, brother? Okay?
Good, how are you?
All right, let's
Thank you for having me back.
sit back.
Brought to you by Skechers. They're kind of like real shoes, right? Skechers.
Interviews. Mario landed on interviews. So be telling us a true 1-minute story about interviews. When you're ready, Mario, we'll start the clock. Take your time.
Interviews. Let me think. I remember maybe like a year ago, my friend that works for Hustler magazine, she wanted to interview me about food because I'm a sous chef, and the topic was like using food during sex. And I've never really done that before. I've never like used like a cucumber on a girl or anything like that. But like when I was a kid, this is gonna sound gross. Don't judge me, but like I don't know. When I was like maybe 8, I was like curious, whatever. I was maybe I was a little older, but I remember this one time I decided that I wanted to stick a hot dog in my ass. Not the best thing to do. I don't know. I was a kid. I didn't know. But the weird thing was that I wrapped it in plastic wrap because I didn't want to put like a raw hot dog in my butt. And so yeah, I wrapped it in plastic wrap, and I didn't get very far. I just poked it in, and yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. I've never really put anything in my butt since then. That was my experience with sex and food. No, thank you.
All right, that's a pretty clean time right there, Ed Crasnick.
Well, Mario, first of all, my college roommate's father was the accountant for Hustler magazine, and I tried to put a magazine in my ass. No, I didn't do that. I only got to chapter 13. Mario, I'm just glad. First of all, your courage is amazing. Your heart rate is steady. You don't miss a beat. I love that, and I give you all the points for that. Now, how many points do I get to give him, Christine?
Okay, so it's 5 points on time, 5 on the story, and 5 for the ability to stay on the topic. And the topic,
okay, well, five for the other 2, but for time, we went over a little bit, right? So we can't give you.
Did you hear the interview part?
Yes.
Okay.
So you didn't go over. Okay, so I'm giving you a 4 on the time, and I'm giving you 5s on the others, because I love that you stayed on topic, and I love that. I'm relieved that the hot dog didn't go all the way in.
Just the tip, and just the tip. Cathy Ladman.
Well, I wish there was a category for sanitary use of hot dogs shoved up your ass, because you would have gotten a 5 in that. But unfortunately, that's not one of the things that we're judging you on. I have to say, I thought your time was good. You stopped when it buzzed, and I'm giving you a 5 on time. That's close enough for me. Story, it was really not. The story was there, but then it didn't quite stay on the story. But this didn't quite stay on topic. So I'm going to give you a 3 for staying on topic. But the story was very interesting. I liked the whole thing with the food and the sex. So I'm gonna give you a 4 on story. So you get a 4 on story, a 5 on time, and a 3 staying on topic.
Blaine Capatch.
Oh, hi. Hey, I love the fact that you said, "Oh yeah, I got called. Hustler magazine called me to interview me about a thing." And you buried that lead, which I thought was majestic. You said, "Hey, I never use food on a girl," and you said cucumber. It was like it was very specific. So I thought you were covering something up. I thought that was also just fantastic. And then when you said you put a hot dog up, oh sorry. Oh whoops, sorry, I'm glitching. Then you said you put a hot dog up your ass, and then I thought of a bunch of like picture-in-picture jokes, because hot dogs are made of anuses. There's a hot dog in your anus, and it was just like, it was so fantastic. It was such a ripe field to run around in. It was like butterflies and children with scarves, like an Easter morning. It was fantastic. But Christine told me I'm not allowed to give the first person 15, so I'm going to give you 14 points. She comes over to my house and hits me with a garbage can lid.
Okay, way to go, Mario. You picked this up just fine. Your total score was 40. Look at that. Mario's total score 40. A perfect score is 5. I think he did a very good job this first round. And now we're going to bring up the next contestant, who's going to tell another true 1-minute story. And this contestant, you guys, I got to tell you, you've seen him on everything from Twin Peaks and Sense8 to Law and Order and CSI. He's performed in over 80 films and TV shows, and he worked extensively on and off Broadway. Now, you can see his new movie, 3 Days with Dad. I've watched it twice. It's so damn good. It's on Amazon Prime. He wrote it, he directed it, he stars in it, and it is fantastic. And he's currently filming on Heels, a new star show. And he's in pre-production for the next season of Bitter Homes and Gardens, which he stars in with his wife. Please welcome Larry Clarke. Woo!
Hello.
Hey, Larry. So good to see you,
Larry.
Larry. All right.
I'm here for the plug. I'm here for that plug. That was a great plug.
That was an awesome plug, dude.
Oh man, spin the
Spin
wheel.
that wheel.
Spin it.
Spin that wheel, baby.
This has been brought to you by 5 Hour Energy, from the makers of 3 hour headache, 2 hour diarrhea, and 10-second massive heart attack. Christine?
School days. Larry landed on school days. Let's hear a true 1-minute story, Larry. When you're ready, we'll start.
School days. It takes me back to college. I had a hard time graduating. It took me 6 years to graduate from college because I did a lot of partying, a lot of pot, a lot of stoned and writing on onion notebook paper, making mistakes. So anyway, I remember I was also working in the professional theater down in Baltimore. So I'd be performing and then fucking up in university and then performing, and everybody was pretty impressed that I was acting. And so my professors at one point would they'd ask, they'd go, how's the show going? But you failed this last test. Anyway, I snuck in tickets. I started sliding in free tickets to all my professors, and it worked. I would see them in the audience, and I'd come out and glad hand them. I mean, I was such a liar and a cheat. I was such a trump. Looking back, I didn't deserve to graduate. And right now, this is a streaming. You could actually get my BA degree back. Thank you.
Wow.
Oh,
And look at that. Cathy Ladman.
oh, I wasn't prepared. Okay. Larry, your timing was wonderful. Just wonderful. And it's very important to me as the daughter of an accountant. Wait, what's my dog doing here? My dog's doing something. Oh no, it's my husband. Oh, they're so similar. Anyway, so I'm giving you a 5 on time. The story was interesting. So interesting that you were in school and you were acting at the same time. Is that true, Larry? Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. It is. Baltimore
Wow.
Center Stage. Yeah, I was working professionally.
And staying on topic for school days, am I not allowed to give him 15 for this?
Of course you can.
I'm giving Larry 15. I'm giving Larry 15.
All right, 15, Blaine Capatch.
Oh, thank you, Cathy.
You know what? You had me at onion skin. I did a fan fiction crossover where Battlestar Galactica found Earth in Buck Rogers' 25th century, and they teamed up to fight the Cylons, and I wrote it on onion skin. I also started comedy in Baltimore in 1985. So thanks for that, Han. It's fantastic that you worked at Center Stage. That's neat. And then sliding tickets to your teachers like your Damone and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It gave you sort of a sleazy thing that your jacket wasn't pulling off. But so I was going to give you a perfect score of 15, but then Cathy Ladman was a little out of focus and pixelated, and her dog was walking around. It took me out of it a little bit, so I'm going to have to give you 14.
It's all your fault, Cathy. Go ahead.
Was I pixelated?
Larry, I look like Oswald when I'm pixelated, so that's not good because who needs that? Also, why is my bed unmade in back of me? Is that preparation or what? As an actor, you'll appreciate that. And there's blood in there, so why is that happening? Now, Larry, I'm redoing the Godfather scene. Larry, you're a great actor. That's number one. I can appreciate your acting ability. Number two, the fact that you were able to use your acting to bribe someone is a wonderful thing for me, and your schooling. I love that. I love the bribery. It fits with America. That's what America's all about. And I appreciate that you were very calm. You weren't panicked. I like the manner in which you told your story, but I would listen to you say anything. In fact, I want to recast you in the movie Say Anything. As you are now. Larry, I'm giving you a 15, and I don't care who knows it.
All right. An amazing story. Larry Clarke, fantastic. Total score 44. Of course, this first round scores will be combined with the next round scores, and Lord knows what can happen. Let's move on to the contestant. All right. I'm pulling the next name out, and this contestant, oh, look at that. This girl, she's fantastic. She began her career at the age of 11 months old. I'm not kidding. When she was plucked off the streets to be the Gerber baby. Now, she discovered the harsh realities of show business when she was replaced just 1 month later for being too old. She has been a professional comedian for 20 years and has performed all over the country. You can also see her on Nouveau TV's Stand Up and Deliver and Comedy Time. Please welcome the very talented Jennifer Vally. All right, Jennifer, you look beautiful tonight. I love your lipstick. Let's tell her what to do.
Spin that wheel. Here, I'll do it. I'm doing it. I'm spinning it. Oh, I went the wrong way.
It's been brought to you by Prawny, the paper towel somebody already used to wipe up some shrimp. Prawny.
Hooking up. Jennifer landed on hooking up. We're going to hear a true 1 minute story about hooking up. When you're ready, Jennifer, we will start the clock.
Okay. When I was in college, I was a theater major, started as physics, went to theater, and we did a play every fall and every spring and a musical and every summer. And my MO was that I would hook up with someone in the cast every show I did. That was just my thing. I had to do it. Okay. So it was really easy. Like in Playboy of the Western World, I just went with Christy. You know, there's always someone that's really cute. So, bad news happened in the spring when we did The Effect of Gamma Rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds. And if you don't know that play, that's an all-woman cast. And even though it was college, I wasn't that progressive. You know, I'd seen girls doing stuff in the theater department. That wasn't my thing. So I was trying to figure out who the heck am I going to hook up with? Well, ends up the stage manager was a freshman and he was only 18. And I went, this is the guy I'm going to bone. I'm going to hook up with him. But I had to do it at his mom's house while she was asleep in the other room. What?
Whoa!
I did.
Now, the time was perfect. I'm really sorry. The time went off, but it was 1 minute. Cathy.
Again I start? Why am I starting again? I started last round.
I'll do it. Hey, do you want a minute? I'll do it.
I'm giving me a 5. No, Jennifer, first of all, Jennifer, you haven't changed a bit since the days of the Gerber baby. I want to acknowledge that. You look wonderful. Down to that cute little curl on the top of your head.
Oh, no.
Your story, your time was crazy. Your time was crazy good. I loved your story. I loved the fact that you had to think about with whom you should hook up. What school did you? I can't even remember what school this was. I can't remember.
Oh, this was
but anyway,
just college. It was just junior college. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Carl's
anyway,
Junior College.
Yeah. Exactly.
I thought your story was great, and you stayed on topic, and I can't keep giving people 15s. This is ridiculous. I'm not an expert judge. Clearly, I'm not an expert judge. So I'm going to take off 2 points just for me and to make myself look better. So I give you 13 points in total.
Okay, 13 points. Ed Crasnick.
Well, Jennifer, first of all, I'm a fan anyway, but I love the fact that you were able to get the terms guy I boned and effective gamma rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds in the same story. God damn you. You have kept the theater back. No, it's my sister was in that play. I love that play. And so I really like the content of the story. So I'm going to give you a 5 for story content. Absolutely. Secondly, your courage of boning someone in the next room, I think, is a wonderful thing for kids and for parents alike. And then I think that I just really enjoyed listening to you tell stories. So I am going to give you a 14. I'm taking off a point because I didn't make my bed.
Blaine Capatch.
Right off the top, I'm taking off a point for Cathy being pixelated still, and another point for Ed's bed not being made. And I'm taking off another point for Ed's room reminding me of that gig I did in Vegas in my hotel room, and I couldn't get to sleep because there was noise from the street. It made me think that the Gerber Baby Company is like the Menudo thing, where they just come into your room when you turn a certain age and just kick your door in and you're gone. I love that you felt that you had to hook up with somebody in one of your productions, and it made me think of productions that I would want you to be in just to watch you suffer, like MASH or Urinetown or Pippin. Anyway, like I said, Christine tased me once because I gave everybody 15s. I'm giving you a 14.
Thank you.
That's a fine score. Fantastic. Jennifer's total score is 40 points. Of course, like I said before, that'll be combined with the second round. So stay tuned for that. This is so fun, you guys. I'm so glad.
Nobody told me there was a second round.
Yeah, one more round. And we've got one more name coming up. This is our final contestant for a true 1 minute story. And I got to tell you, this girl, you guys, she was a 2018 Primetime Emmy nominee for Outstanding Actress in a short-form comedy or drama for her role in Control-Alt-Delete. She's best known for the first crossover character in the fan favorite Pepper on FX's American Horror Story Asylum and Freak Show. And she's also appeared as a new character, the Satanist Samantha Crow, in the 8th season of Apocalypse. She's fantastic. Please put your hands together for Naomi Grossman.
Wow. Woo-hoo. Wow.
Naomi music. Woo! Okay. All right, you guys, let's tell Naomi what to do.
Spin that wheel. This spin brought to you by Rock. Nothing beats scissors like Rock. Rock, not for use with paper.
Food. Naomi landed on food. Whenever you're ready for a true 1 minute story about food, you go ahead and start. We'll start the clock.
Okay, so food. Most people think of their, mom's home cooking. Not me. My mom is a little bit anorexic. When you say like I'm hungry, she'll be like, have a glass of water. And not even kidding. Like, I wish I could show you. Can I show you a picture on my phone? No, I can't do that. That's cheating. But literally, like, I took a fantastic photo of like my favorite meal the last time I went to go visit. It was literally like a filet mignon, like this big with like 12 peas. Like she's ridiculous. And in fact, I can show you. If you want to know more about this lady, this crazy lady, she wrote a book. It's called Coming of Age, Come Rain or Come Shine. It's softcore smut. I'm not even kidding. It's literally like the dirtiest book you've ever read. And there's like no food in it because she doesn't eat. Are we? Oh, I have 3 whole seconds. Not enough for all the smut.
Great time. No problem at all there. Blank patch.
I love how you owned the dismount. That's great. It's like, hey, you know what? There's plenty more, but who has the time, you guys? hey, I'm double parked, and you're gone. Irish goodbye. That was fantastic. I love that she's a little anorexic. And I love that 12 P's was so specific. It was very, I know that you actually counted them and you were like, what the fuck? There's 12 fucking P's. What the fuck? So I know that happened. And it also made me think of dirty cookbooks, like the Joy Luck Club of sex and stuff. So anyway, that was great. It made me think of fun stuff, and it reminded me that 2020 is over. I'm not allowed to give you 15 points. I'm giving you 14 points.
All right, 14 points.
She'll hurt me. She really hurts me.
I'm going to post, by the way, tomorrow for anyone watching, I will post the picture that I'm referring to of the like 12 peas and this much meat.
Wow.
So you know this is real. These are true stories, everyone.
I believe you, Cathy.
Well, yeah, that being a little bit anorexic, I didn't really. That isn't that kind of like being a little bit pregnant? I think you either are or you're not, but it was still very interesting to hear about your mom and the little state. It reminded me of the toy cooking sets that had that little steak and those little peas. Maybe she was just presenting you with a new toy. Did you ever consider that at this stage in your life? I thought it was great, and I thought your energy was fantastic, and you were showing the book, but then went right back to food, so you stayed on the topic. So I'm gonna give you 13 points, Naomi. 13 points.
13
because
points.
I was a teacher. I was a teacher, and I'm tough.
And Crasnick.
Well, first of all, Christine, why does every storyteller have better credits than I do? That's number one that I have to come up with. Thank you for that. No, boy, have I never felt worse. Now, the other thing is, Naomi, your story was great. You had visual aids. You were about to show us a picture on your phone, but your mom's book is amazing. Her character is hysterical. A Jewish mother that doesn't give food is fascinating. And I just loved your personality and the way you told the story. I love how you're so aware of time. I love your outfit. I love what's behind you. And I'm voting for you for mayor. I'm giving you 14 and a half. No, I can't do 4. I'll give you 14 points. I'll taking off 1 for my bet. Yes.
That's a great score, Ed. And remember, you are married. You are married.
Oh, okay, great.
Naomi's total score 41 points. Nothing wrong there. Fantastic. All right, you guys, we're going to be moving on to the second round of Story Smash now. It's the same way, but this time we're going to spin the wheel. The contestants are going to tell a true 2-minute story. Capatch, who is sponsoring this second round of the show?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I thought I was my second grader was back in Zoom class. The second round, of course, is brought to you by Rice Pilaf. When you really should have gotten baked potato. Now that you think about it, Rice Pilaf from the makers of Vegetable Medley. Hey, you gonna eat that? Nope. Vegetable Medley. Those poor vegetables. Those poor vegetables. Christine.
All right, all 4 names are back in the can of truth. And the very first contestant coming up for a true 2-minute story. Look at that. The one and only Naomi Grossman. Come on, back.
2 in a row.
All right, everybody. Let's tell Naomi what to do.
Spin that wheel. This wheel spin brought to you by Fleshlights. It's like having sex with a real flashlight. Fleshlights. Christine?
All right, Naomi landed an audience, and I know this is when it gets really exciting. You guys out there on YouTube and Facebook, feel free to put in the chat what topics you would like Naomi to talk about, and then our expert judges will choose one of them to be her story topic. Look at that. Wow, a lot going on in the chat. Look at that. I see coronavirus. I see
Jesus Christ. Where is it?
I see
Where's my bat?
I see COVID. Oh my gosh. I see American Horror Story. What do you guys want to hear?
I'd like to hear an American Horror Story.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear American Horror Story.
Yeah, I always like to hear set stories.
Okay, great. Naomi, when you're ready, we're going to get you set up for a true 2-minute story about American Horror Story.
Okay, I'll just tell you about getting cast because that's kind of crazy. I got a call from my agent who basically was like one of these, he was like in Thousand Oaks where, all they do is like make meth and bury bodies. Like there's no industry out there. in any case, I had an agent there who called me with the audition. Basically I got there, and sure enough, everyone in the room is a little person. And now I'm not a big person, but I am not, I'm proportionate. So I just remember thinking, like, what am I doing? Like, I need a conversation with him. Like, I couldn't possibly get this. And of course, anyway, I just knew, like, if they want a freak, they're going to find it. And well, they did. In any case, it was, I nailed the audition, even though I thought there was no way, because I'm like a giant by comparison. And then, of course, the callback was essentially like a meeting with makeup, where they manipulated my image to see what I would look like as this character, which, if you're not familiar with it, is like this creepy microcephalic, like bald, 4 to 5 feet tall, possibly malformed, childlike creature. And that was the actual breakdown. And that was the other reason why I was like, why am I even getting, like, not mad at it at all. I mean, I'm a character actress, but at the same time, it's like, what makes you read that and go like, Naomi, Anyway, so then sure enough, apparently, my profile looked best, which, I always like to say that to my, to young actors, who like to flagellate themselves on their way home from auditions. You never know. Like, you could look like the director's ex. Like, your profile might just be best. And then, sure enough, mine was, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Wow.
History is history, and I'm always shocked because you're so goddamn beautiful, and then that character is so wild. It blows my mind that you were able to transform yourself into that character. Ed Crasnick.
Naomi, you have a clock in your head, and it is amazing. You know exactly your timing. You have a clock in your head, and that's my review of the entire show. You have a clock in your head. No, I'll tell you, I'm interested. I was interested to find out that when you start out with the details of your story, and you start out with little people at an audition for American Horror Story, it's kind of hard to build from that, because that's kind of where you end up, I think. But I appreciate your artistry. I'm a huge fan. You have better credits than I do, and it doesn't matter to me. It's fine. And I want to support you in every way that I can. So I'm giving you, for timing, you have to give a 5, and for story, I'm giving you a 3, and for everything else, I'm giving you another 5. So that's just how I feel. I'm a fan.
All right, Blaine Capatch.
I'm taking off. I'm giving you an extra one because Ed says he's a fan, but he gave you a 13, which is bullshit. I'm fascinated to thank you for telling me that I can bury bodies in Thousand Oaks, that I can get meth in Thousand Oaks. I had no idea. I knew they had a black bear diner over there, but I didn't know I could bury stuff. I would love to know how they manipulated your image and how if it freaked you out when you saw what they did to your image, if they were like something like this or something, if it was like a kinder photo, that's a fascinating thing to me. But when you said that when you went into the audition and who knows, you could look like the director's ex. That's that chaos thing. That's that fractal thing that auditions go into that you cannot predict or whatever. Somebody's personal thing that you cannot read, and you can't read somebody's mind. And it really brought it back to reality. It was fantastic. Again, I'm not allowed to give you a perfect score because Christine will hit me. She nailed my cat to my door a couple of months ago when I gave somebody a 15. But you know what? Fucking, I'm giving you a 15.
Naomi, what did it feel like when you first saw Pepper? And can you explain that transformation in terms of makeup and what they did? How many hours?
It was a 2.5 to 3 hour process. It consisted of a prosthetic nose, brow, ears, fake teeth. It was a wonky lens. They, of course, shaved my head and I had a fat suit. Except, of course, on the day the freak orgy, where they actually gave me a prosthetic chest, which. Yeah, I'll never forget. Like, I was actually walking out, and one of the producers, said, "Quick, somebody get Pepper a robe." And of course, I was like, "What?" I'm like literally wearing more clothes than I wear to the beach, But I didn't look like it. I looked like a naked man, basically.
Wow, super.
That's how I look at the beach.
Really, really.
I enjoy your work. No, go ahead.
Cathy.
Oh, that's right. It's my turn now. Well, Naomi, first of all, that top that you're wearing, well, as women's woman, we call it top. The men would call it a shirt, but I know it's a top, and it's fantastic. And I hope you were wearing it to your audition. But if you weren't, you still got the part anyway. Now, my dentist manipulates my image, and then he laughs, and then he sends my bill to Delta Dental. That's my entire cleaning. That's how I get my cleaning done. That must have been an amazing, amazing experience, and I loved the story. It was a fascinating story. Your timing, even though I noticed that you were filling a little bit. I did notice that you were filling a little bit towards the end because you were watching the clock. So I'm gonna take off a point for that, but I'm gonna give you a 14. You were wonderful.
14. That's a fantastic score. Naomi Grossman. All right, let's see the total score for Naomi. Let's look at the board. 42 points. A fantastic score. Naomi Grossman, round 2. All right, you guys, let's pull up the next contestant who's coming up to the stage, and that is Jennifer Vally. Jennifer Valley's coming up to the stage. You guys put your hands together for the amazing Jennifer Vally. Here she comes.
Yay!
Yay!
And here she is. Okay.
There's something in my hand.
Spin that wheel!
Wow.
Party now. Happy 2021. Let's start with you guys.
Spin that wheel.
Wow.
The spin brought to you by
For the love of
paper. Nothing covers up a rock like paper. Paper not for use with scissors. Christine?
Interviews, Jennifer Valley. You landed on interviews. Maybe this is when you got interviewed or you interviewed somebody else. Who knows what's going to happen? You got 2 minutes on the clock. Take your time.
Okay, for about 6 years, I worked for the TV Guide channel, and my job was to interview celebrities. I was a field producer. I was never really on camera. I was just the arm. I had a mic with a TV Guide flag, and everywhere I went, I did set visits, I did junkets, I did red carpets, and everywhere I went with a crew. I had one sound guy and one camera guy. So the TV Guide channel was loosely based on the magazine. So we would do entertainment news every day. And sometimes we would cover things that happened in the magazine. So one of the things I was sent to cover was the shooting of the magazine cover for The Apprentice, which means I interviewed Donald Trump. He was doing the photo shoot over at this place called Coyote Studios. Anyway, it was one of my very first shoots, so I didn't know exactly how it works. Well, how it works, if you ever watch a reality show, is the people are not looking right at the camera, they're just looking off camera, and what they're looking at is the producer who's asking them the questions. So this was one of my first shoots, so I didn't know what to do exactly. So I would just ask the cameraman, where do you want me to stand? On what side of the camera, the left or the right? He said, oh, just stand over here on the right side of the camera. So when the sound guy's got, a boom getting Donald Trump, and he's there doing the photo shoot. And so I'm interviewing Donald Trump, and he's doing this weird thing with his head. He's doing this weird kind of turn. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what the fuck that is, but all right. So I do the interview. I take it back to the station, and they are furious. They go, what the fuck is going on? Why is he craning his head like that? Ends up, it's because he has a good side. It's his right side, and he was trying to show his right side, and I did not know that Donald Trump has a good side. Now, if you look at him, any interview he does, I always notice now that he favors his right side a little bit. So I got in big fucking shit because I didn't know Donald Trump had a good side.
Wow. Wow.
Story.
Wow. First of all, I saw your timing going. I saw your wheels turning there, and you were right on the money with your. One thing I know, I'm so much about that because I am the daughter of an accountant, and I can't stop thinking about Tempest Fugit. That the fact that Donald Trump has a good side I have to take a point off for that because we know he doesn't have a good side. So that's not going to work out for you. And but it was a great story. It was a fantastic story. I'm giving you 14 points, Jennifer.
That's a good score. That's a good score. Blaine Capatch.
I love that you work for TV Guide. Did you meet Jeers? What was Jeers like? I love that you worked for I'm not going to do that joke. I was going to do a joke about Coyote Studios, and I just watched Coyote Ugly the other night. Fuck that. I'm just so mad about Donald Trump. I'm just so glad he's going to be gone. Here's my question. Can I ask you a question while I'm judging? I'm going to give you 14 points, and then I'm going to say that Christine comes over and tases my balls or something. But hey, what did he smell like? I'm always fascinated with what wealthy people smell like, because he looks like he has like a suit from Central Casting that he wears all the time. So it looks like his suit doesn't smell good, and he looks like but he's rich. So he probably smells like cucumbers and cologne. What did he smell like?
He did not wear cologne, and he smelled like he just bathed. He smelled a little bit like makeup because they had put a lot of makeup and hairspray on him for the shoot.
Okay.
So he smelled a lot like whatever was going on up here.
All right, so it was all like Aquanet, like he smelled like Robert Smith's marriage.
Aquanet. That's probably what he still uses too.
Okay. All right. Anyway, fuck that guy. I'm glad he's gone. My 7-year-old is right across the table from me, and he would also say, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, 14 points.
Ed Crasnick.
Jennifer, you're a very good storyteller. I really am entertained. I think your energy is so great watching you tell stories. But Donald Trump, my only regret that it wasn't a real shoot that involved gunplay. I would have enjoyed that, and it would have saved the country. No, I don't mean that. What I mean is that the man smells like talc. I think he uses talc, and I think that really affects your decision making. That's just a great story. That's very interesting. I remember when the TV Guide had the scroll and they changed over. It was like a scroll thing, and there was an executive there. And so to be a reporter and that be one of your first things, that's pretty impressive and pretty interesting. And that you finally found out that he thought he had a good side, and that America now knows the truth. And so
like Ariana Grande.
Yeah, I give you 15 points because that was really an entertaining story. I loved it. That was great.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for the tone of my voice. I'm so serious all of a sudden, but I really am serious about this.
All right, Jennifer's total score is 43, a really good score. Okay, you guys, we've got 2 more storytellers coming up to tell a true 2-minute story. And this next storyteller coming to the stage is, look at that. He's from my hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and his name is Mario Tonti. Mario!
What's happening, Mario?
All right, guys, let's tell him what to do.
Spin that wheel.
That wheel, damn it.
God.
It's been brought to you by Paper. Oh, sorry, I already did that one.
Oh, Drunk Tank. I bet this guy's got a story. When you're ready, Mario, we'll begin.
Can't hear
You're
Mario.
muted.
Mario, can we hear you, brother? He looks to be muted.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Now we got you.
Okay, cool. Okay, you can start now. I remember back when I was 22, my girlfriend that I was with, She was not the best person. We went to a party of a friend of mine in the city. I was a couple people there were underage, but we were all drinking. I brought her there. She brought her friend from school. She went to an alternative school where the kids were kind of like fucked up. So she brought her friend with her who was not a good person as well. So halfway, like after we all were getting drunk throughout the night, my girlfriend disappeared into the bedroom with the friend's party, who it was, and some dude. And they all ended up having a threesome while I was out in the living room. So I was out there and I was just, I didn't know what to do and I wanted to leave, but her friend who she brought was like, do you want to have sex? So I ended up just having sex with her friend on the living room floor while she had a threesome in the bedroom with 2 other people. And so that was kind of a nightmare situation to be in. But then the next day, me and the girl I was dating, we had to drive home together after we had this terrible nightmare of a night. And then she was we broke up, but then we ended up meeting up later that day again. I don't know why, but she brought a bunch of her dad's Valium that she had. So we took a bunch of Valium, and she was bipolar, so it kind of fucked her up, I guess. So she ended up having to go commit herself because she cut herself in my car. And so that was my one of my worst drunk night stories. But yeah, I tried to go visit her in the hospital. Her mom wouldn't let me. And she ended her mom was the one who said we couldn't see each other again. So yeah. End.
That had
Oh my God.
Oh, me?
Sure.
Here's what I wrote down, Mario. I wrote down 22 years old, not the best. I wrote down fucked up school. I wrote down threesome. And then in big letters, I wrote down but then. Because you hit a minute after all this freaky shit happened, and then you said but then. And then it got into dad's Valium, and it got into cutting in your car and her mom calling it off. And I got to say, Mario, you always bring it on the show. You're my absolute favorite. 16 points.
Wow.
She's gonna kill your whole family.
Yeah, she's gonna like lop my balls off with hot pliers.
Wow.
Crasnick, what do you say, brother?
Well, Mario, first of all, I've never heard anybody be so calm talking about things that in that one night, you actually have lived more than I have. In that one night, your life far eclipses my life. I thought it was going to have a Hustler theme. I thought a hot dog was going to make an appearance. I didn't know. I was confused. It sounds like the movie Tommy to me, but yet it was one night out of your life at 22. I love the details. I'm fascinated. I want to know more. I'd like to see the movie. I'd like to option the story. And I love your life. I want to live your life. I think it's very interesting. You were so blasé about the threesome, and then we had sex on the floor too. And I've never been blasé about those things because they never happened to me. They never happened to me. In other words. All right. Well, fantastic. I'm giving you a 15 because I'm a big fan.
All right. 13? Did you say 13?
15.
15. Great score. Somebody typing or chewing.
I hear a rat chewing on wires.
Yes, a rat has made an appearance.
Yeah, I feel like it's Captain Kirk trying to warn us that he's been sped up.
Mario.
Sabotage.
Mario, is there something going on in your place?
Mate, hold on 1 second. Let me try to fix that. It might be me.
Are there like 3 girls blowing you or something? What's going on? I have no idea what's happening over there.
Someone is in the room right now.
It's the casual sex guy. You're like Elliot Gould.
Yeah, Elliot Gould and Getting Straight.
How's that happening?
Mario Tonti, the sound is coming from within your house.
It's a babysitter.
It's When a Stranger Calls, Part 7.
He's out of here. Mario's total score.
It's Mario. Mario, write it down.
Cathy,
Samuel Morse is in your pants.
Cathy.
Okay, is that better?
Huh? Me?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I love, in life when people I'm talking to, and I don't like them, I'm talking to them, in real life, I say, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Just something I picked up from Zoom that's helping me in my everyday life. That story, I do love how blasé you were about the threesome and having sex on the living room floor, and then this happened, and then that happened, and these are things that happen in the movies. These are things that happen in the movies, not in real life, but they were happening to you, young man. And your story was jam-packed, full of drama. And I also think that this story would make a wonderful Christmas story for next season. So I think you should work on that for Hallmark, because it's a beautiful, beautiful feel-good Christmas story. I'm going to give you a 14. I'm just going to take a point off because you ran a little short on time, and I'm the time person. That's my logo. I'm the time person. So 14 points, Mario. Thank you.
Look at Mario's score. Look at the leaderboard. Mario's total score 44. Boy, you don't get much better than that.
Yeah,
Score.
pretty good.
Fantastic job, Mario. Way to go. Go Steelers. And now let's pull out the final
Ghost Steelers.
man of truth, which I know is
Steelers.
here. His name is the fantastic and talented Larry Clarke. Come on, Larry.
Are you not entertained?
1, 2, 2, spin.
Man, It's been brought to you by Scissors. Cuts up paper dead. Scissors not for use with rock. There, I did it.
Vacation. Larry Clarke landed on vacation. I bet he has a story. Whenever you're ready, brother, we'll start the 2-minute clock for vacation.
Okay. I went on a vacation with the first time I ever went to Europe was with my wife. And we kind of combined like a romantic honeymoon kind of a thing. We just started dating. I think we were like 8 months in. And you really learn about somebody when you travel with them, right? So I thought we would also kind of swing in a little, like after Paris and France, I'd go, hey, you want to do a little World War II battlefield extravaganza? Because my dad fought in World War II and he's old and he never's going to get back there. So I was like, why don't we go there? And why don't we stop by Luxembourg at the same time? So anyway, it was not a good idea. I mean, we landed in Paris. We had 3 days in Paris, and then we got very stressed out because you can't do Paris in 3 days, right? So we just started like first day you wake up in Paris and you're like, oh, we got a museum. You're like, and we hit a wall. We just hit a wall where I was depressed, and I was like, fuck it, we're just going to go back to the hotel and just sit. We're going to sit. So we did. We just literally spent the last day just going, we're not going to the Louvre. We're just not going. And then I took her to the battlefields in Luxembourg/Germany. And I took a nice little Jewish girl back to Germany, and we walked the battlefield, and we saw some Germans, and we had a horrible fight in Germany because she didn't grow up watching World War II movies. She wasn't really into it. She's 10 years younger. But anyway, we made it out alive. Almost broke up by the Mediterranean in France. But made up again, took first class, and we got back home, and everything turned out fine.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. There's that story.
That was a fantastic story. It's not every day you hear about the tiny country of
Luxembourg
and Crasnick.
Larry, that's a D-Day romance, but your hatred of the Louvre concerns me. It's very concerning. You're an artist, and yet you hate the Louvre. No, I can appreciate that. I thought that the story was over, and then all of a sudden you're going on. It was like halfway through the story. And then you're trying to teach her about World War II. I can imagine her surprise that the whole Nazi thing would be a problem. A real downer. And then the start of D-Day. So it's very historic what you're doing. I have to say, I don't know where you are in your house right now, but it looks very similar to where Walter White was when he went to New Hampshire or something. It's a very unusual. But anyway, listen, this is I love your storytelling. Now, I don't know if the timing was off a little bit. I would only take off for that. Christine, did we go over? We went over a little bit, right?
Very little, Ed. Very little.
I went over. You should give it to me. Give it to me.
I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you 17,000 points. And I'm following your journey in your Rick Steves D-Day Nazi younger wife tour. Of Europe, which is now a Netflix series. I'm giving Larry 15 points.
15
I have to.
points. 15 points. Perfect score, Cathy Ladman.
Well, Larry, hearing this story really explains your wife's anger problem. I think that taking her to Luxembourg to look at battlefields. I mean, you had to know she was Jewish 8 months into your relationship, and
right.
I do want to agree with you. Trying to see Paris in 3 days is very stressful, and it makes you not want to see Paris at all. It makes you want to bite off your nose to spite your baguette. So I loved your story, and I love your relationship too. It's a very interesting and volatile relationship. And now I understand the roots of it. So it all makes sense. It all makes sense. I'm going to give you 14 points. I'm just going to take a point off for time. But I loved it. I loved it.
It's a fine score. Blaine Capatch.
You know what? I remember I took a girl I was dating to Grenada. And we were visiting some old battlefields and stuff. And she's like, "What the fuck is going on? What are we doing? Where's the beach?" It was just a nightmare. But because chicks love battlefields.
Well, love is a battlefield. Love is a battlefield.
Love is a battlefield. And you know who I took to Grenada? Pat Benatar. It was weird. We'll be right back after this. Just take a look at that clip. I wrote down D-Day, more like DTF Day. I thought that would be a funny joke, but it really didn't work there. But yeah, I proposed to my wife in Paris. I agree it's impossible to see Paris in 3 days. You get mad at yourself for not spending a week there. But if you spend a week there, it's like, I have no money. But your room is empty and echoes, and it made me miss the acoustic softness of Ed Crasnick's rumpled bedroom. So I'm going to give you 14 points because it didn't take me to Ed's room.
All right, that's a fine score, Blaine Capatch. Is your son around, Blaine? I hear him.
Yeah, he's watching some Luigi's Mansion walkthroughs on an iPad across the table from me. But joke's on him. I have his sword. Suck it, son.
All right, Clarke, you got 43 in your second round. Way to go. While our producers are tabulating the scores, I did want to remind you guys that Story Smash will be back next Friday night. Same bat channel, same bat time, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Please join us again because we know that everybody needs some laughs right now, and we will bring it to you. All right, now let's hear who's some of the scores. Let's hear some scores. Yeah, let's hear some scores. Let's bring everybody back. Jennifer Vally, come on back. Naomi Grossman, Larry Clarke, and of course,
It was a great show tonight. Everybody was really, really funny. I always love doing these. It's a great vibe,
Great
Christine.
night.
Thanks,
Great
Christine,
night.
for doing this.
Thank
Thank
you.
It was great.
Great storytellers.
Naomi's total score 83. 83 for Naomi's total score. And who else do we got? Mario's total score 84. 84. What else we got? Jennifer's total score 84. 84 is that'd be a spinoff is what that would be. But I do have a winner. What do we got?
Winner!
Oh my God!
Wow.
Butler and Clarke, tomorrow on Venmo. We're on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Special thanks to judges Cathy, Ladman, Blaine, Capatch, and Ed Crasnick. And also another thank you to all the contestants who spun the wheel: Larry Clarke, Naomi Grossman, and Jennifer Vally. All right, you guys, we'll see you next Friday night. My name is Christine Blackburn. Good night.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Bye, everybody.
Good, guys.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New